The music portion of Hazbin Hotel is the best part of the show. However, it is also the part that holds Hazbin Hotel back from being great. And honestly, it really pisses me off. There are placements that feel very awkward. The songs don't feel deserved in any shape or form. And overall, it takes away from the story and opportunities to relate to certain characters. I will not lie that the musicals are incredibly difficult to pull off as a whole. There's a lot that comes into understanding the craft and even more to perfect it. Unfortunately, Hazbin Hotel failed to meet that understanding, which resulted in a lackluster execution. There's a few things that I have learned during my time in college as a theater major that helped understand the difficulties of a musical. In order for an audience to truly feel the impact of a song, the characters need to be relatable in some way, and it has to feel grounded in order for the track to hit more. A majority of the cast that we have been introduced to does not fit that requirement. The biggest culprit is the main character herself, Charlie. Charlie is supposed to be viewed as someone who cares very deeply of those around her to the point where she put their own happiness over herself. While it's a nice trope to fall in on for a main protagonist, you can see that for a lot of characters like a Steven Universe, a SpongeBob, a Joy, or a Mabel. So you need something to stand out from the plethora of characters in order for us as the audience to feel really in touch with them. That definitely did not happen with the first song Charlie sang.
Something tells me that today will be a happy day in hell.
A Happy Day in Hell is a great song in a vacuum. Erica Henningsen, the voice actor for Charlie, is a wonderful singer, and she does create that spark of what the aspirations are to the character, as well as show us the overall settings of hell. However, when you plug it into the episode itself, the context prior to the song doesn't allow it to help us learn more about Charlie. While the song itself does give us the goals and aspirations she has, it doesn't develop that even more so because the opening monologue Charlie gave and the first scene between her and Vaggie already set the stage of what she wanted to do. So with that, the song feels more like an elongated transition from one scene to the next as Charlie goes straight to the meeting after the song was completed. A song has to have that build up in order for it to feel more powerful within the moment as a musical is trying to bring. Instead, A Happy Day in Hell just feels more like filler to move the plot along with no deeper meaning for Charlie as a character. So while the song is deeply going to be the most memorable within the first episode we see, it doesn't grant other scenes that introduces Charlie the opportunity to feel deeper than it should be, especially with the plot lines that are introduced in the story.
I'm the backbone of the vase, mad that I acted respectless. Well, it's cause no one could respect it.
There are two songs that show the major flaws of placing a track that is unwarranted, which are Respectless and Whatever It Takes. Both are attached to a character that, in my opinion, shouldn't exist. Camilla Carmine gives you nothing to offer to make her interesting and want to root for her. Plus, she took away a plot point that I thought would be incredibly interesting, only to realize that they only used it to set up these two songs, which could have been a lot more. Who killed the angel? It could have been set up in many ways that could have developed any of the main cast to be a whole lot more interesting. What if the person that killed the angel was Alistair, to further prove how powerful he is and should be feared? Or if it was one of the V's in order to obtain more influence within Hell. Unfortunately, they decided to give a character that has only shown up once within the season as of this recording and hasn't reappeared since. So the question becomes, why was she granted these duets in the first place? What we know of her character is that she is one of the overlords and really loves her kids and will do everything she can to protect them. Which is another trope we've seen already. Respectless is only used to push the point that Carmilla knows something about the fate of this angel, and whatever it takes expresses her desire not to risk putting her daughters in danger. But with the lack of development of her and her family, why should I care about what happens with her? In a vacuum, I can see why both of these songs could be enjoyable. With Respectless, you get the dynamics of two characters not liking each other and instigating each other's flaws, while Whatever It Takes expresses both Carmilla's and Vaggy's point of view of wanting to do right by the people they care about. However, within context, it doesn't make me feel deeply about Carmilla as a character with how little we were given to care about her. So none of her songs gave me impact. It doesn't help give me more to look forward to within the plot, since the whodunit portion has been answered, plus the impact of the song lessens on Camilla's end of Whatever It Takes, because just showing her daughters and expecting the audience to empathize seems incredibly lazy to me. We know a mother would do anything to protect her children, so more is needed for me to feel that the song is justified on her end. If Carmilla did not exist within the show, not much could change, and we can easily switch the person who killed the angel by someone who is more established. Although I think there is one song that I think is incredibly egregious in every sense of the definition.
It's a little funny. You could almost call me Dad.
Yeah, so not only do I hate Hell's Great Dad as a song, I hate this episode as a whole. To make a short and honest review, we need to explore more options outside of daddy issues. In any case, the song itself once again fails the quota of placement within the episode. With the clear rivalry brewing between Lucifer and Alistair, they once again rely on the song to show the growing heat between the two. Prior to it, while the jealousy appears to be there on Lucifer's end, I don't think there's a reason for Alistair to feel some kind of way about this midget outside of a few jabs here and there. It doesn't help that Alistair is the least interesting when it comes to character development, but I digress. It's confusing because I thought Alistair's only interest is to watch the hotel rise, only to fail miserably. Like, why the sudden interest in showing care for Charlie at this point? Lucifer's jabs were not all that. The song is paced way too quickly in order for me to understand what is actually happening when I watched it initially. Just seeing two goobers going at each other for Charlie feels like they were going 100 miles per hour, so I couldn't connect with either of them. Not to mention that we got easily the worst character of the entire show to debut at the end of it for no reason. So it's good to know that Helva and Hazbin have the same issues when it comes to introducing characters, only to never see them again after they debuted it. Mimsy does nothing for the plot except to stir unnecessary trouble in order for Alistair to get some kind of backstory that still doesn't give me any indication of who he is as a character. Like, what was the reason for adding her to this song? Honestly, it wasn't funny. It didn't give me any excitement. She just abruptly came at the end to finish the squabbling in the most obnoxious way possible. The song is so trash. Not to mention the episode has a problem where it's a tale of two halves, where one is super wacky and unserious while the other is supposed to be grounded and meaningful. Don't get me started on More Than Anything. Tell me a better example of let's fix all our problems just by singing how much we love each other. Yay! Anyways, it just doesn't mesh well and leaves nothing but a hot mess for me to understand. The episode as a whole embodies all of the issues I have with Hazbin Hotel, especially when it comes to the music side of things. There are definitely songs that I absolutely love with the stunning performances of the actors as well as the visuals attached with them. I definitely will be listening to them non-stop like I did with Hamilton back in college. However, just because the songs are fantastic does not mean the show overall is perfect.